Welcome everyone to the middle of nowhere and weekend escapades. We are in Delamar Ghost Town, an old mining town. This is absolutely amazing, and behind me is a four-wall structure, one of the remaining four-wall structures here in Delamar. And behind me, this direction, up this very sharp rocked road, up and over that hill is going to be the rest of the town and area. This is literally the first building that you come to when you pull in, and this is about 15 miles off the main road, and it is about a 3-mile-an-hour drive in here because the roads are sharp, washboardy. Now, Delamar, Nevada Ghost Town is located about 2.5 hours north of Las Vegas on the Great Basin Highway, or Highway 93. This town is known today for its deadly history. This history earned the town the nickname the Widowmaker. Now, the story of Delamar is not actually known to many people. In 1889, gold prospectors founded the mining camp called Ferguson in the area. 5 years later, a prominent mine owner, Joseph Delamar, purchased and expanded the mining operation, and by 1896, the Delamar mill was handling up to 260 tons of ore daily. So this is one of the buildings here that all four walls are standing on. You can see there's plenty of cactus to be careful of. And this is definitely time for rattlers, so we're going to be very cautious. Take a look at those walls, how thick they are. And the wood supports that are around the doorway. The old chimney still in here, the old pipe. Awesome old structure, and you can see right there that was where one of the pipes went through. Straight up through that wall. And the old chimney still up there for that one as well, with a few bullet holes in it.
Now be sure you stay till the end, because we're going in the main mine and we're going to check out the entrance of that mine and all the other amazing structures here in Delamar.
We're going to take a little exploration here. We found this, and there's a giant hole there. It looks like a mine. As you can see, we're going to get a little bit closer. Didn't really look this up before I came in here, long ways in, but I'm sure that looks like a mine shaft there. And then behind us is where the actual mill is. We'll film that as soon as we get out of here, but I'm going to get a little closer to that big hole in that rock. All right, we're getting a little closer. Oh, lizards and a lot of metal. A lot of pipe in here. We're gonna just keep on trekking forward. Don't see any snakes. Nothing like that.
The gold in the mines here in Delamar were unique in the fact that it was contained in quartzite. The process to remove the gold from the quartzite resulted in large quantities of dust-like contained particles. This was of a glass-like rock. The hazardous dust, when breathed in by the miners and local residents of the town, often resulted in disease of the lungs called silicosis, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. However, silicosis wasn't the only tragedy this town suffered. The entire town was almost completely destroyed by fire in 1900.
Maybe a ghost town still has classic cars, and if I'm not mistaken, there's still chrome on that bumper. Amazing. Look at the chrome shining in that old car. There's no shortage of construction and all that here with all the stonework. You look at what they built here just to be able to process all of the ore and the minerals that they found in this area. And all the old metal. It's just so much construction that was left behind. It was just such an active area, an old mining ghost town. So we're getting down closer to the wood structure that was over here. Not really knowing what to call it, but it's all the shoring for the area where I believe they processed a lot of the rock and ore that came out of the mines. But this is extremely sizable. These pieces are about 30 feet long and 10, 12, maybe 16 feet wide and very deep. So these are obviously, looks like hoods that had some kind of chimney coming out of them, If anybody knows exactly what these are, please comment below and let me know, because I'll tell you, I'm still learning about mining towns. Okay, so we're coming up on that wooden structure and watching our step. If I've ever seen a place more prone to have a rattlesnake pop out on you. And we just got word that there was rattlesnakes on trails really this time of the year, starting to kick off. And I'll try to share a photo of one that was posted. No rattle came up on the trail. 9 rattles on that snake, huge snake. Absolutely no warning. Was literally directly in front of him, ready to strike. And I'll see if I can share a photo right after this.
Look at the size of this rattler that was found on the trail.
All right, so we're gonna make our way through here, through a couple rocks. Make sure there wasn't any critters crawling. We're just hoping that that's the case. And get through all this debris and see if we can get over here under these pilings. Or I should say timbers. Take a look at what's going on. Here we are. Take a look at that. And that is some old, heavy construction that they've been working on back in the day. There's a huge building on top of this. This was literally the foundation for that. You can see heavy pipe down below. Imagine you have to construct all this in the middle of the desert, and how to get all of this giant timber out in the middle of nowhere, literally. Miles to get this in here, and then back-breaking work to put it all together. As I'm standing here looking at this, I just have to guess, but just from what I think I know about, you know, back in the, I guess, the mid 1800s, early 1900s, is that most of these holes were probably with an auger style drill, like by hand. I mean, I've used a few hand drills in my day, but you're going through about 16 inches of you know, just basically green timber at the time to drill these holes through here and put this all together. Now, if I'm incorrect, if there was another type of a drill available, a mechanical drill at that time, there may have been, but I'm just assuming that a lot of these had to be hand drilled, and the amount of tedious work that had to be put into this. So this is another level. This is a lower level here where they've built this amazing structure out of stone, but look at the amount of stonework that they had to put in. Of course, this corner's fallen off here, and the sheer size of these rocks that they built this out of. To again build a foundation for all the timber that they put up there for the buildings for this mining operation. So right here, what we're looking at is more of the iron and things that were here in the operation. Again, please comment if you know what these are. I'd love to know. I'm just not that educated on mining, but just love the amazing construction in what's left of a ghost town, mining town. We're gonna walk on in here. What obviously this used to be a building. So you can see the corner there. That would have been another corner, and that looks like maybe that would have been a furnace. And the piece that is out in the desert right here next to me would have been a furnace as well. You can see here, somebody had built looks like they built a fire pit there next to this. A lot of people kind of outland or camp out here. A lot of side-by-sides come out here, and a lot of people with four-wheel drives with the tents on the top and camp out here overnight. But there's that other piece there that looks just like the one we just saw that's built in the corner of this building. So again, comment below if you know what this is, because I am very interested, and this is an amazing location with all those buildings out there we have to see yet. What a great area in the middle of the desert. In the middle of the desert, in the middle of a mining town, you'll still find an old bed spring laying right there, half buried in the sand. You never know where that came from or who slept on it, but that is old. So here it is. We are looking in one room of that building. We're going to come around this way. And then you can see over here, Many people have scratched their names in the side of that one. Now that I'm taking a look, this would be Main Street. As you can see, buildings on the right and left all the way up and down to this area here. Okay, so as promised, we're going to take a look on in this one, watching our step. Well, this was a good sized building. You can still see on the wall that it was finished because right there you'll see it was kind of plastered. So this was a finished building, but it is just all gone because it has been in the weather for so long. But there's a tremendous amount of stone still standing here, and really excited about that because these places are definitely getting old and coming down piece by piece. So been walking for quite some time, a little bit uphill now, so this would be Main Street for sure. And over here you can see the buildings to my right, and behind me there's still some structures that we just went and saw. You can see the road, how far it goes on behind me. I hope you can see that okay as I'm trying to watch where I'm walking as well. Then we're getting really close now to the larger structures. And over here on my left, there's more structures. So on each side of this street, tremendous amount of foundations. So we're just gonna keep going up, and we're gonna go, and our vehicle is up the hill on the left. So quite a little walk, but definitely worth it to see this old mining town.
Between 1895 and 1900, Delamar had more than 3,000 residents. The town provided a hospital, an opera house, churches, a school, and several businesses and saloons. There were a tremendous amount of buildings here.
You can take a look at the sheer size of this wall. This is 20 plus feet to the top, and it is a good 60, 80 feet long. You can see the size of the stones, sandstones they had here on the corner, then all the mortar they had mixed in with all size rocks to put this wall together.
Be sure to like and subscribe for more like this, as it keeps our channel strong and we can keep these videos coming.
Okay, so here are the ruins of that little area. Now, there was a tremendous amount of buildings right in this area. You can see that there's still some of the cement work or finished walls inside of that building and what's left of it. And then the old car right here. I don't know what kind of a vehicle that is, but I think right here there's probably 10, 12 buildings at least up the hillside. And then right here, more foundation. And that one there is the one that still had the roof that's collapsed. We'll take a closer look at that one here in a second as well. Now, if you ever want to look at a car with bullet holes in it, what's left of one, that's it. But you know what's funny is the chrome is still shiny. Take a look at that. Get some polish out here, we can make it look like new. Oh, there's no front end.
Because of Delamar's isolation and enclosed location in the valley, makes this town have an eerie stillness. Some visitors report sensations of being watched, and it definitely feels like that when you're here in Delamar.
Look at the amount of buildings and foundations here. This is like a whole community. It almost looks like a strip mall, a modern day strip mall of old stone. So here's the mine and the mine shaft that goes down in, and it is open. Okay, so here we are at the mine. Let's see in here. One of those gentlemen told us about this. You can see how far this goes in. Take a look a little ways. Not gonna go in too far. You can see how amazing this is. And they say this opens up into a big section inside there. You can feel it is about 55 degrees coming out of there. See the ground looks like there's a lot of water that just ran on it in the past It's all like it was wet and cracked and dried out. Amazing. And here it is, Ghost Town Cemetery, Delamar. We're going to take a look at a couple of the plots and show you what's here in this cemetery in the Old West. They called it the Widowmaker, being that the miners only survived about 6 months because of the silicon they got in their lungs. So that caused a lot of deaths in Delamar. Those mines were deadly because of that silicon dust. This one is amazing. The way that's put together, the iron, like we say when you see some of these plots, how well they're made and put together. Beautiful. Seems like it's always in the far back corner of a cemetery when you walk in, where some of the oldest plots are. You can tell because of all the wood that they made them out of instead of iron. So you can see these are surrounded with it. There's another one here, one that's still remaining, but the wood that's on the ground probably was just like this, and then it just all fell down. Thank you for joining us today in Delamar, Ghost Town and mining community, and until our next adventure, goodbye from Weekend Escapades.